Live. Alrighty, let's get Jenna on here. How's everybody doing? It's been a minute since I've done one of these, but I am excited. Let's see. Bear with me as I get back into this. Alrighty. Jenna. I'm trying to type in her name to invite her, but it's not working. Hey. Okay, let's see. Oh. Sorry, technical difficulties. There we go. All right. Hello, Jenna. Hi today. It's crazy.
To find
your... Hey!
Oh,
hi!
Okay, we're on.
We're on. I was sweating there a little bit, but we're good.
No, we made it. There was like 4 different people going live when you were, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get to it. So
okay, 9:30 on a Wednesday is a popular time apparently.
I guess so.
Hey, how are you?
I'm
Welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's been a minute. I think my last one was in April, and I love doing these. I feel like they're just totally my jam, my kind of connection, and I love just chatting with friends. So thank you for coming on. Go ahead and introduce yourself. A lot of people on here I know you already, but go ahead and introduce yourself, your name, where you live, and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Jenna Peterson. You can find me at Jenna Elysee on Instagram. I live in Boise, Idaho, moved here almost 8 years ago, and I'm in real estate, and now I'm a business coach specifically for real estate agents and helping them with social media. So
love it. I know I was, it took me a couple takes yesterday trying to describe everything you do on my stories. I was like, okay, hold on. Oh, and she does this. Oh, wait, and she does this. And she's awesome at all of it. So.
No, I have a lot of passions and excitement with what I do, but it's just kind of evolved naturally. So I'm going with it.
Yeah, you should. Okay, so tell us, so we're going to take a little bit of a turn into like kids and your life. Tell us about your kids and your stage of life and kind of what your weekly schedule is like.
Okay. So I have 2 little ones, 3 and almost 5. And I am very much a believer that my family is my first priority. And so we'll probably get into that in a little bit as far as like prioritizing, but my schedule will look kind of different from day to day. I'm a huge advocate of using my calendar. And so I always plan out like for that week on Sundays, my husband and I have a whiteboard and we'll have like our dinners planned out there. We'll figure out what our week looks like, but it could be me showing properties. Not as much anymore. I have a couple people who have started to show houses for me that are part of my team. I don't have a real estate team, but I do have a group of agents that are underneath me, meaning they're at the same brokerage as me and I sponsored them. So they are local here and they'll show properties for me, which is amazing. And they'll host open houses. So a lot of times I spend my days on Zoom. I do coaching calls. I have group programs. So it just depends what's going on. And then once like 3:30, 4 o'clock hits, I'm with the kiddos.
I love it. Cool. Yeah, the afternoons are so busy with kids. It's like just full steam ahead into mom mode.
Yeah.
I love what you said about your calendar. I live and die by my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. I know so many people say that. But yeah, on Sunday nights, I feel like usually we have a big family dinner and then we get our kids down and we're just trying to chill and hang out. And I'm over here like writing. It's a cascade of events because I'll start writing like, what are we going to have for dinner for the week? And then I'm like, well, then I need to know what groceries I'm going to buy. So then my grocery list happens. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess what nights I make what depends on what I have going on. And then that goes into like my sitter and then texting her schedule. And it's like a full-blown planning session on a Sunday night, whether we like it or not, because everything kind of ties in. The dinners, the schedule, the babysitting schedule. I mean, yeah.
So true.
At this point, I'm getting ready to hire out my laundry because that's just.
It's not a bad idea. We have our cleaner do like some like the sheets and towels and stuff like that, so we still do our own, but it is so helpful to just have one less thing on your plate.
Yeah, as something that I learned from another mom on Instagram that I follow, her name's Whitney. She stopped folding her kids' clothes. Like she's like, I'm just gonna put them in the pile that goes in the drawer, and then their job is to take the pile and put it in the drawer, not fold it, because if we fold the clothes, it's okay. So I have a 3-year-old and an almost 6-year-old, so we're very similar ages of kids. And it's like they're gonna unfold the whole drawer in 5 seconds, and I love it. Has really saved me time. Like I just get the clothes out of the dryer, turn them right side out or whatever, like make them a little less or a little more organized, and then just pile them. And then their little chore is to take those piles into their drawer, and they know what drawers are there. So then in the morning when I'm saying like go get dressed, they can go get dressed because they know where their clothes are. Anyways, okay, so then that's kind of what your flow is like. Do you have certain days of the week that you work, or do you just, it's like every day, certain hours?
So running an online business, and now that I promote more digital products, it's something that will happen on a daily basis as far as like people will purchase things whenever from me. But with real estate, I have to be a lot more protective because people will want you to work for them 24/7 pretty much. So Sundays are 100% a no for us for working. We definitely take Sundays off. I used to not, like early on in my real estate career, I would take any opportunity that came my way. But in the last year, like we haven't worked on Sundays. And then we have this thing called Friday Fun Day. My kids have never had school on Fridays before, just the nature of the schools that they've been a part of. A lot of them here where we live don't do Friday schools. So it's tricky. There's definitely times where they're with us on appointments, and I won't lie and say that like we never work, but we always plan some sort of fun activity. Like this Friday we'll leave to go camping. So we try to do fun little activities, a lot of weekend trips because we can do a longer weekend. But I definitely work and go hard Monday through Thursday and pack my schedule in Monday through Thursday. So I feel like I can take my foot off the gas on the weekends.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a sitter, or is it mostly just school time and you kind of work around that?
So we're temporarily living outside of where we normally have all of our sitters. So it's been an interesting season. The last 6 months we haven't had a babysitter one time. But my parents are here locally, but they're not where we're located right now. So in the past we've been able to use them a little bit, but we haven't recently. And I will say it's a big excuse that people give, because I can literally say right now that like we've still been able to fit everything in and accomplish what I've done in the last 6 months with really no help, other than obviously, yes, they were going to like a part-time daycare. Now they're at a different school, but you just have to, like, you fill the time that you have, right? So if you have 3 or 4 hours, like you fill that time and you make it effective. But if you're given 12 hours to do a task, I feel like it takes you 12 hours to do it. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like so Jenna and I, for anyone that is not in Powerhouse, we are under the same brokerage at EXP. I'm in Arizona, she's in Idaho, and we are in a national network called Powerhouse that is founded by Amy Gregory. And we are on the phone, are on Zoom calls, weekly masterminds with our national network of really amazing agents. So something that we talk about in there a lot is a lot of us are parents in that group. And we talk about how when you only have a certain amount of time in the week, you get really efficient and you get really systemized, which is just good in business anyway. So I love that. So also, a random side note, I'm adopted and my birth mom lives in Nampa.
No way.
Yeah. So next time I'm that way, I need to come. I remember we went, I haven't been to Idaho a ton. My husband has family in Victor and Driggs area.
Okay.
And we've been to Jackson and the Tetons and all that. So I'm more familiar with that area. But when I went to visit my birth mom in Nampa, we went to a mall. It was like an outdoor mall in Boise. It was so pretty.
The Village.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah.
Yes, it was gorgeous. I was like, wait, okay, Boise. Like,
Yeah, it's getting really nice. Yeah, definitely let me know when you're
yeah.
here.
So anyways, that's a side note. But okay, let's see. What do you enjoy doing with your kids to connect when you're not working? You kind of touched on that. You do a Friday fun day. You
Yeah.
guys are going camping this weekend?
Yeah, we're going this weekend before it starts getting cold. If you wait too much longer, it gets pretty chilly in the evenings and mornings in the mountains here. So we do like traditional tent style camping. We don't go very often, but we like giving our kids that experience. A lot of people around us will have these like fancy RVs and trailers,
Same.
and we're like, no, like we're gonna try roughing it for a little while, and then like they'll have that experience, and like, later I'm sure we'll end up getting something. But for now, that's what we do. There's a lot. Idaho offers a lot of cool spaces to go check out, and rivers and lakes, and like just a lot of fun things to do. So we will definitely take advantage of some of that. But we're also like huge homebodies, so we'll do like movie nights, bring out their little special chairs and make it fun with popcorn and stuff. Like we try to we're pretty simple and low key. So yeah, just whatever is kind of convenient. But there's a lot of really cool parks around here too. So we're always going like to water parks or, fun parks and stuff. And yeah, pretty much just probably like anyone else, nothing crazy. But
I mean, I feel like at this age with the kids, they just want to be with you undivided. Like they're like, whatever we're doing. I actually agree with you with the tent camping. Like, so I think, well, not all, but most of our friends have trailers, and it surprisingly does get cold here at night when you camp. Yeah. And we are tent campers as well. And I'm like, okay, well, my girls are gonna learn to pitch a tent, but it's fun. We said that we were gonna try to go like once a quarter, but it's not. I would say twice a year.
Yeah, that's probably like us too.
It takes a lot of like packing and prep work on our end as moms and dads to like get everything ready to go camping. It's not an easy task, but it's always so worth it. Like just the memories. Totally. You kind of forget about it once you go, but then a couple days before you're like, okay, where's the flashlights? Where's like the warm socks?
I know. It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What do you like to do for you when you have free time? What are hobbies that you have? Maybe something that we don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, I love shopping. I'm a huge shopper. So that's something, like I'll go down to Salt Lake City like at least 3 or 4 times a year to shop. So that is something that I love doing. I don't get to do it enough probably with where we live. There's some nice malls, but it's not the same. Yeah. We're still a pretty small town. So that is something. But when you asked me that question, when you sent them over before, I wasn't even going to say that. I was probably just going to say like, when I feel like I need to decompress, I did launch a podcast this year. I'm a huge fan. And I did that because I've listened for years to podcasts, and that has been, it's kind of funny because it's probably not decompressing, but that just goes to show you how much of like a workaholic I am. I love listening to people's podcasts, and not like crime podcasts, like personal development podcasts, but I love just going for a walk or a drive out like we have a lot of country roads around here, and it's just so nice. I feel like I can decompress and just have some me time, and no one's like yelling or screaming in the car or bothering me. So I do that a lot. We have a lot of country concerts that come this way. I love country music, so I'll go see a lot of artists here locally. But yeah, probably shopping is the biggest one.
Wait, I love that. I didn't know that about you at all. I definitely knew that you work a lot, that you are very dedicated, and I love that. It's very inspiring. But yeah, I love live music too. Like
so good.
Every concert that comes around, I'm like, we went to Sam Hunt when I was pregnant with my first. So it was 2017 in August, and I was so pregnant. I had her in November, so it was so hot, and I didn't care. I was like, no, we're going. I think anybody that's on this live that's my friend in real life knows that I'm always down for a concert.
Yeah. It's a good time.
And country music too. You can't beat a country concert.
No. The vibe and the people are always so good.
Yeah. Do you like Zach Bryan?
He came here. I don't listen to him that often. No.
Okay. His new album came out, and so I've kind of been dabbling with that this week. But my thing, so I try to make the gym like, or my Peloton. It's either the gym or the Peloton. But I have to put it in my calendar now. I just feel like my weeks get so crazy and then it just falls to the back burner if I don't schedule it. So I'll do like gym one day, Peloton the next day, you know, whatever, switch them kind of back and forth with whatever works with my schedule that day. But I love music so much. I can't, and I know there's so many podcasts that are good that I want to listen to. And I love diving into people's worlds and podcasts and just hearing like productivity and business and ideas and all the things. But I just can't do it. I love my music too much. And I'm like, I don't really have a lot of uninterrupted time to listen to music either. So I'm trying to get more into reading and podcasts because I know I like them, but I just can't quit the music.
Yeah. No, it's a real struggle.
Like my Spotify is crazy. I just have so many playlists and all the things. So anyways, but
cool.
That's my stuff going on. Let's see. What are some of your, okay, this is a good one. What are some of your goals or hopes and dreams for your business? I feel like I can see how you're building out these pillars of your business and it's so inspiring to watch. So what's your plan?
Yeah, well, sometimes I'm winging it, to be honest, but the biggest part is like being in a position where you can quit the last business that you've been in. So I built like multiple different network marketing companies originally, and the most recent one that I did before I started real estate, like I segued out of that. I still have customers purchase from there, but it's pretty small. But again, like positioning myself so that I can quit that business and move on to the next, but still have that last business generate income. So right now I'm in a transition of real estate where it's still producing me income every single month and I still have leads coming in, but I'm not actively running that business so that I can then step into the coaching space, so to speak. So I continue to do that and I want to just build different streams of income so that I'm not just reliant on one, but also the goal isn't to hustle this hard forever. To me, I feel like it's a season and it's really hard to do it right now because my kids are little. So selfishly, I want to be present with them. But my experience was my parents were present when I was little and not as present as I got older. And because of that, they didn't make a lot of money when I was younger and had to start making money when I got older. I'm doing the complete opposite where I'm missing out on a lot of moments with my babies right now. And it's really hard for people to do that. But it's so that when they can remember, I'm always there and I'm always going to be present for all their games, all their sports, like, you know, all the things that my parents had to miss a lot of times. Love them to death. They'll probably watch this. They know this is how I feel. Like I'm super open about it, but this is why I've positioned it this way because I just really value like when they're older being able to be remembered that I was in their life a lot. So
totally. 100%. I actually, before I got my license a little over a year ago, I called like I phone a friend, like 7 people. Oh, we've got a comment. Let's see. As a mom who is raised up for my kids, I commend you for this. I'm telling you, teenagers need you far more than toddlers. Totally. That's exactly what I was going into. So I had called a couple of friends who were realtors. One of them being like someone that's old enough to be my mom, but she was my realtor for my first home that we bought. And I called her and I was just picking her brain about real estate. And she's like, I would wait until your kids are older. Like, it's just too hard with little kids and da-da-da. And everything in me was telling me the opposite. I was like, no, I want to do this now. I want to lay my foundation now, get my systems in place now, treat my business like a business now, so that when my kids are, I mean, I have 2 girls, like the teenage years are going to be all consuming. I already can feel it. Yeah. So yeah. I'm like, I gotta just lay the foundation now, get this going now, so that when they're older, I'm hoping that I have enough systems in place, people under me that I can just really pass along and like always prioritize that. And honestly, even now, I do feel like I see like the moments that I'm with them in the day now are way more intentional than when I was honestly with them like all day, every day.
Yep. I
like
noticed the same thing. Yeah.
Like bedtime, I'm like all there. Like I don't even know where my phone is, or I have my phone and we're like being funny on my phone together, my 5-year-old and I, you know, or looking. She loves sometimes that night we'll substitute story time at night for looking back at old baby pictures and like looking at memory. I love that.
Yeah, so. Totally. I feel the same way. It's like don't know where my phone is, don't focus on anything else but them. But if I understand this worked differently for everyone, but for me, because I tried it, I was home with them and it wasn't, I wasn't the best mom that I could be. I'm a better mom when I'm serving and like living in my true passion and purpose. And then like being a mom is one of those, but I feel like I'm such a better mom when I'm doing what I feel like I was called to do. And I can still be really present with them in the times that they're here. But I'll be honest, I struggle with it. I just said something to my husband the other day. I was like, am I going to look back and regret this? Like, am I going to regret? Because I right now, I don't see them as much as most people probably see their kids, but I keep reminding myself my why and why I'm doing this. And it's not for me. I could care less about, well, I shouldn't say I could care less about the money, but there's a lot of things that I'm working specifically towards to get to. And then, that there's a season, right, for that. So I think that helps.
100%. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for talking about your personal life. So many women's podcasts and talks away from this. And now, yes. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we could talk about real estate all day, but we'll save that for another time. We're talking about real life today. But I agree with you. So today, actually, I was like, oh, okay. So my daughter has a school half day. This is my older daughter.
Yeah.
A half day at school. Then right from that, I'm taking them to their sitter's house, which we've recently started going there and our house. Before, she only came to our house, and they love going over there. She has dogs and we don't have dogs, so they love that. And so anyways, right after her half day, they're going to their sitters for a few hours. And then on my calendar, right when I picked them up, I was like, oh, we'll just go straight to the gym, which is me putting them in kids care again. Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe I should ride my Peloton at home today. But then I'm still not, I'm like, today's arm day. I gotta go do arm day. But then, I'm like, okay, then at 5 we'll come home and it will just be full family mode from like 5 to 8.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, it's gonna be a productive day. I don't do that every day, but you think about, like, I thought like, oh, I'm not gonna see her all day today. Like, should I feel bad about that?
I think about it a lot too with like when something comes up for work, or today we have this like breaking ground ceremony for someone and it's happening right when they get done with school. And I think you make a good point. Like, we have to give ourselves some grace, because it's not, if this was an activity every single day where there's an event happening right when my kids get done with school, I'm going to have to shift things and I'm not going to be content with that. But we have to remind ourselves, like, okay, this isn't the norm. And there's going to be that 80-20 or 90-10. Yeah. Like, if you have those boundaries set in place, it allows for some flexibility.
100%. Yeah. I'm actually, I'm doing real estate, like, I don't know, conference training. It's like an educational event right now, and it's every week on Tuesday. And if you leave early, you actually get like docked points, or like it's called a foul. Anyways, but I just told them, I was like, oh, my daughter gets out of school at 2:30, so and it ends at 2:30, but it's 35 minutes away from my daughter's school, and I was just like, but it turns out it's pre-excused, so it doesn't count. Like, I don't get a foul every day. Good. But I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go pick my kid up from school. Like, I don't know, sorry.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Oh, okay. There's a sad comment. Let's just keep on rolling. Okay. What do you have to say to a mom who might want to work and chase a dream but doesn't quite feel ready or know where to start? I feel like you're a perfect person to answer this question.
I feel like there's so many ways I could take it. Okay. So I first just want to say, because I feel like most of my messages are towards someone who has a dream or a passion and hasn't started, and I'm like, just go do it. Like, start now, go. Like, what are you waiting for? But there's a caveat to this, and it's that there are different seasons, right? And I look at like just our typical weather seasons. We have spring, summer, fall, winter. Like, you almost have to identify what season of life you're into before you take someone's advice on like, stop sitting there and go quit, go chase your dreams. If you're in a season of rehabilitation, you have some injury or illness, right? Like, there's certain things that people are going through that it doesn't make sense for you to go all in. And you'll notice that there are times where I am sprinting more than others in my business. I have a lot of new eyes on my page, so I don't think a lot of people have seen like, my past work habits. But like, I'm in a season right now of just consistently growing because we have very specific goals with this house we're building and a few other things happening right now. My husband's not bringing in an income. So there's a lot of pressure on me to perform, and I have to show up every single day. But for other people, I would say, like, evaluate your situation right now. Understand, have you been making excuses? Like, I think if you've been making excuses and you've been sitting and just consuming and watching everyone else, or if you're legitimately in a position where, like, it just doesn't make sense. You just had a baby, or there's something difficult you're going through, like, give yourself grace, right? But yeah. I first like to mention that because I don't ever want someone to feel like I'm drowning and now you're telling me I need to start a business. Like, no, maybe it's not the right time. But the person I am talking to is if you've been watching everyone else and you keep consuming and getting frustrated, like why you aren't seeing progress or you haven't accomplished your dreams, like I would put a plan together and start taking action today. Actually, someone was just messaging me about something in my DMs, and I was like about their audience type not being what they want. And I said, go post a reel right now to your ideal audience. Don't complain to me and I understand everyone's frustrated with, like, you know, who they're trying to speak to on Instagram. And it's not as simple as posting one reel. But my point is, like, go take action on what you want to accomplish and go fail. I posted about this today in my video. You have to be willing to fail. So, like, Meredith and I both have failed so many times to get to the point where we are today. And we will continue to have to fail to get anywhere close to accomplishing our dreams, right? I think that's just the difference, is like being willing to fail publicly versus just wanting to, like, sit behind the scenes and make sure that everything's going to fall into place before you launch whatever it is that you want to launch. I don't know if you would say anything else to that.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, if any of you have the time and want to scroll back down on my profile for a while, like the first couple of reels that I did about real estate, they're like, I'm like, should I delete that? Like, should I delete it? But I'm not going to. Like, and honestly now, like, I have people that I know in real life and otherwise, like people just on Instagram that will, like, they have been like, hey, I have noticed, like, you have been hitting your social media so hard. Like, you're killing it. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I'm working really hard. Like, yep. I'm not just, like, posting for fun. Like, I'm doing it for a reason. It is work.
Like a business.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I've been hitting social media really hard because I'm in, like, a lower point in transactions right now. Do I like that? No. Will that change when I have, like, 3 or 4 transactions going at once? Yeah, it will. It'll change. Like, I'll have to, you know, squeeze content in. I might be posting at midnight instead of whatever time is the optimized time of the day because I don't even have the bandwidth to schedule the post. I just have to put it up when I put it up, right? So I think it's like, just like, stop trying to get it perfect. Totally. And I think everyone has heard, like, done is better than perfect, but it's really true. And I heard something yesterday at the real estate conference thing that I was at. They said with social media, it's the one thing that you can kind of, like, tilt the shift a little, or what am I trying to say? Anyways, like, change your perspective where quantity is sometimes better than quality. Yeah. Sometimes. You still want to be providing value, but if you can't truly put the production or the time into what you really want your social media to look like, or whatever part of your business, just keep showing up, because the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And it's just like a basic principle.
The other thing I'll say to this too is, like, you guys can go look at my Instagram feed. I don't pay someone to make me these super fancy videos. And I think it's worth noting, not to say that if you're doing that, that's wrong. I 100% may shift that way eventually. And I think it's really fun to consume those kinds of videos. But if you are looking at people like that and that's causing you to stop because they have this, like, production team come in and make their videos, it doesn't make you more money. Like, it doesn't make you more money to have, like, this super professional video versus not. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to this. I get that. But for the most part, you just have to get started. And then the coolest part is, like, once you get started making more videos or doing the thing that scares you, you start to learn hacks and tips and people in the industry who are really good at video editing, right? Like, you start to find ways to improve what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, if you sit back on the sidelines and watch, like, it's so much harder to learn. Yeah. It's so much easier to learn by doing, in my opinion. So yeah, go chase it, and go find someone who's accomplished what you've done. This is the other thing I always say, like, if you're looking to chase a dream, go find someone who's doing the dream. Last night, someone just sent me this motivational speaker girl who, because I openly was like, I want to start learning how to speak publicly. Someone sent me her page, so also put it out in the universe because people will start helping you.
Yeah.
But and I started following her, and I was consuming a lot of her content last night, and I was like, okay, perfect. Like, I need to identify about, maybe 5 of these people that I'm just going to start learning from and soaking in their content and signing up for their offerings and all those kinds of things, because I'm going to start to learn what they know and what they've implemented in whatever I'm looking to accomplish. And it just, to me, it just excels the process of learning and getting to the place that you're trying to get to.
100%. I love that.
Yeah.
One day you and I are going to have to be up on a stage together interviewing somebody, doing some type of like circle time.
I'm so
I
down.
can see it. Okay,
I'll start with the video.
What'd you say?
I'll start right here with the live video first.
Right. Okay, before we hop off, does anyone in the comments down here, does anyone have any questions? Anything you want to type in real quick? Let's see. Okay. I'm not seeing much. Maybe people are typing.
Sometimes it lags for a second too, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know.
And DM either of us if you have an idea that you're trying to get off the ground and you're just kind of feeling sticky stuck. Oh, thanks, Chancy. Okay, well, it's 10:01, so let's all get back to what we're doing today. Thank you so much, Jenna, for coming on. And
thank you so much for having me too. Sorry, I was reading the comment. I'll just answer that real quick. Best advice to getting started in real estate, I would say, well, I guess just get started, but I was going to say you can talk to someone who has been in the industry. I did that. I remember a lunch that I did with someone who was crushing it, and I asked her a bunch of questions just to figure out if this was going to be a good fit for me or not. And I knew immediately after talking with her that she was someone I wanted to learn from, and ended up having her be my mentor for my first few deals. So I would do that. I would definitely pick someone's brain that's in the industry and see if it's something that aligns with you.
Yeah. And take your time making decisions on like where, I don't know if you're already brokered or whatever, but just take your time making those decisions and ask a lot of questions and talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I will save this. If you guys didn't get to watch the whole thing, you can go back and watch it. But thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Bye.